Aloha friends, welcome back to Is This Message For You? Alrighty, this feels abundant. Right off, as soon as I started drawing and pulling the cards, it was immediate. Spirit was telling me which decks to go to, and the cards were jumping out right away, and just everything about this feels extravagant, almost otherworldly. There's a whole different vibration that's coming in with these cards. So I feel like those of you that were drawn to this reading, there's this energy of knowing who you are is what they're telling me. Knowing who you are. Like, I don't feel like you have never known that, but maybe there was a time where you let others influence you, or you influenced yourself with choices that you made, and now things are starting to shift, and it's like you're not just deprogramming, but stripping back the layers, coming back to the raw truth of who you are at your core, who your soul is, what your soul came here to do. And because of that, I feel so much abundance and light and just this really joyful extravagant. They keep saying extravagant vibration. So let's get into it and see what else wants to come through for you all. We're going to start off with the Galactic deck. Let's see what we have here. Stargate Heart. So heart chakra opening, unlocking, and generosity. And the first thing they're pointing out here is this like Oz space, like the Wizard of Oz. It's like you've made it to the land, to the other side. They're telling me just to the other side. Whether for you, that's like the other side of a rainbow, the other side of a wish, the other side of desire. It's like you've activated this Merkaba and opened up your heart, and the energy that's flowing through is extraordinary. Now I understand why they're using these extra words, extravagant, extraordinary, because there is so much more coming in for you. And the message that they have for you with this is continue to open your heart, relax and open. I'm hearing relax and open, because what is coming for you, what is here for you, my apologies, what is here for you in this vibration that you are so close to tapping into, and maybe even like wetting your toes, like you've dipped into it a little bit and seen parts of it, and things are just starting to come into fruition for you, and it feels really good. But they're saying keep opening up, because there's so much more. It's like if you know, they're bringing up this example. So like my husband, when he went to South America, he for the first time saw pink dolphins, and he was like, whoa, these are so amazing. I never knew that there were pink dolphins. We don't grow up, you know, in American schools and they show you pink dolphins. All of the dolphins that they show you in school are blue. And so for him to see something that just was so out of his normal programming was really special. And that's what they're saying for you. There's so much more outside of your normal programming. And so as you continue to deprogram, as you continue to open your heart, there is, I feel like abundance isn't even a good enough word to explain what is life for you moving forward. It feels like it's, you know, I read something recently. They said, it was a Substack. It was sent to me, and it said like, from now on, I'm going to let everyone know that I'm rich. And I didn't open it and I didn't read it, but I felt the vibration of it. And the vibration of it was, I'm rich. I am rich in good health. I am rich in community and friends and people who I want to call family, who are there for me and support me. I am rich in experiences. I am rich in travel. I am rich in all of these things that you don't typically look at when you look at rich. People think like, oh, rich, you have a lot of money. That's usually the first thing that people jump to, but there's so much more than just money. And so they're saying like, treat yourself like that rich person. Like, you are rich. What you have is this richness of life that is opening up for you to tap into. And in that space, you're going to be able to open up to all sorts of different vibrational things, like the pink dolphins that my husband saw when he went to South America, right? So it's like all of these things that you maybe were never in your consciousness are going to start opening up for you. And that can be synchronicities. It can be little things showing up. You might be hearing a name over and over again. I feel like this is specific for someone, yes, but there's a name that keeps popping up and you're like, why is this name popping up? Pay attention, because these are signs from your guides that are bringing in this richness that you so deserve. You so deserve. They want me to make that very clear. Okay, we're going to leave that there because there is some activation that is coming through with that to continue to open up the heart through the high heart and into the cosmic heart as well. So lots of good stuff coming through with this card. I'll leave it there. Okay, they said skip to you are a badass. So let's skip to this card here. And let's see, it says it's all make-believe, or rather, it's all what we make ourselves believe. Oh my goodness. So this just goes right in line with everything that I just said there. It's like you're opening up to an entirely different level of consciousness. And in that level of consciousness, things are going to be so different. So everything that you believed in the past was perhaps someone else's beliefs. Maybe it was things that were taught to you over time. And now it's like, what do you really want to believe in? What do you know in your soul? I feel like those of you that chose this pile, you all are some elevated souls. You have been here, in this space, place, time many times before, and you've learned some things, and maybe there are things that never resonated with you. And, as much as other people tried to tell you that that was truth, for you, it just never made sense. And now it's time for you to be in that authentic version of you, the one that stands up and says, no, that doesn't make sense. And I'm not going to conform, and I'm not going to believe in the things that other people are believing in just because someone said it, right? A lot is also unfolding with history right now, right? With like things that you were taught throughout time, and now they're going back and people are breaking stuff down and saying, how could this be possible? How could that be possible? And there's loads of theories and things popping up across the internet and just all over. So tap into what it is that you want to believe in, and be open for change, right? That's part of the heart opening, is things are going to change. When I was at a lower level of consciousness, there were things that I believed in at that time that now I look back on and I'm like, oof, yeah, I totally was just in a lower level of consciousness, because that is not truth. Here's my truth now. And what it also did for me is it also added a layer of compassion for people who are in that space, right? Because I was able to see myself where they're at now and go, oh yeah, I remember when that was my truth. I remember when I felt like that was the absolute truth and I was correct and there was nobody that was going to change my mind, and it was my truth, right? And then after pulling back layers and working on myself and tapping into who I am at the core of my soul, I've learned that some of those things that I thought were truth actually were not. So I feel like this is just a huge opening for you all. Okay, let's go ahead and move on. They said hold off on this one. They did want me to hold the book out for this one, so I feel like we'll do some reading for that. But let's move on. Okay, both of these. They said these came together. Okay, so we have new moon and balance. Okay. So they're telling me with the last new moon, what it's brought in is this energy of balancing the fire masculine and the watery feminine. It is this energy of, if you're trying to figure out who you are, or you're peeling back the layers and you're wanting to know who you are at your core, you are both. You are feminine, you are masculine. And so they're saying there's a lot that is popping up right now since the last full moon. Whenever you're reading this, it's a timeless reading. So whenever this pops up for you, look at the calendar, go back to the last new moon, and recognize the patterns that are happening from that last full moon. Because what it's doing is it's balancing out your masculine, feminine. And what they're saying is that the masculine was very heavy. There was a heavy, they're just saying, can you bring that back, please? They're saying there was layers of the masculine that needed to be pulled back to finally fully tap into the feminine, and then to align them, to bring them into coherence, to know that one is not better than the other, and that the two of them together are what creates I want to say harmony, but I feel like harmony is not a good enough word for that. It creates flow, it creates abundance, it creates that contentment, the state of bliss. Like everything is aligned, it's all working together for me, and it's like all the little pieces are coming into place, like the yin yang, right? Like it's when put together, it fits perfectly. And so it was pulling back the layers of the masculine and finally fully resting. Specifically resting, they're saying, resting into that feminine. A lot of what most people miss with the feminine is the rest. Allowing yourself downtime. You don't always have to be multitasking or, trying to get everything done, or feeling like your worth is tied to the amount of work that you do. There's this energy of just allowing yourself to rest and manifest, right? Being in that rest space, you can create so much more from that than constantly being on the go. Pardon me. Okay, let's see what else we have here. Oh, back up. They're telling me. Okay, one more thing with from the new moon. From the new moon, because there is this energy of balancing out the masculine and the feminine, you may notice that there is this unfolding that's happening, right? Some of these layers are coming, they're being stripped back. And usually when layers get stripped back like that, it can be either triggering or activating, right? So which part of that is for you, it just depends on how much shadow work you've done. And they're the same vibration, Spirit's telling me. Same frequency, thank you. Same frequency, different vibration. Did I get that right? Yes, okay. I get that backwards sometimes. But basically it's like everything is aligning so that you can have exactly what you want. But in order for that to happen, some of the things need to get stripped away. So maybe you are overworking yourself, and there are extremes. Like maybe you get injured and you're not able to overwork anymore. You literally have to rest. That's one of the extremes that happens. But there are smaller triggers, smaller things too that happen that get you to pull back and tap into that feminine energy more and release the energy of needing to always be action forward, always be like constant cycle on the go, getting things done, and allowing things to actually come to you, right? Part of the feminine is that goddess energy. I tell my clients this all the time: see yourself as a goddess. A goddess is not going to go out and search for what she wants. She's going to call it in, and it's going to come to her, right? So part of that is resting and being able to call in what you're working on. And a lot of times it's just detoxing from all of the noise, all of the media, all of the like everything going on outside of being with yourself in silence. So that said, if you're struggling with some of these triggers, bring more silence into your life. Now, usually this is a moon cycle, so from the new moon to the full moon. So by the next full moon, from whenever you read this, by the next full moon, things will feel more in alignment if you allow yourself that time to pull back, to rest, to go inward, to be with self. Maybe that means like just spending time alone, creating, coloring, painting, playing music, being alone in general, maybe taking a walk by yourself, or just sitting in silence, and as long as you can, and just seeing how that feels. And maybe it's cooking or doing like other things around the house, but doing them in silence so that you can filter out all of those things that are not in resonance anymore. Okay. Magnificence is the next card. It says, you are amazing, magnificent, and unique, but most importantly, you are enough. Yeah, and that was the message that came through up here. It's like, you are so deserving of all of this that's coming in. You are enough. There's nothing that you have to do to work to prove yourself, to make it. So this programming of feeling like, you know, the more you do, the more you get, that is that's like the programming of the Industrial Revolution, right? It's the programming of, I have to work, I have to get things done. If you just pull back, oh wow, and they're telling me something really profound right now, so I'm going to share it with you. They're saying this is part of what got society so out of balance, right? Because women entered the workforce, and then it became this rat race where everybody is trying to get ahead, everybody is trying to make money, everybody is in this cycle of go, get things done, right? You have mothers now that are working full-time jobs and then going home and cooking and cleaning and still caring for their children, and, you know, being the soccer mom and making sure that their children are involved in activities. And you have fathers doing the same thing, right? And then you have people also that don't have children that are still very much like on the go doing something all the time, right? Even if they're resting, they may have like a movie on in the background and they're scrolling on their phone. Like there's so much going on. And they're saying to bring humanity back into homeostasis, into a space where everything is balanced out and in coherence, we need to take that step back, tap into the divine feminine, right? 13 is the divine feminine. Tap into that divine feminine energy of rest and manifest. And then things are going to be more in flow than ever before. Okay. We have creation. Yes, and this goes right along with the divine feminine, right? The divine feminine is creation, right? We literally create life through our bodies. And so this is the space for you to tap into creation. What is it that you're creating? What is it that you want to create? And start to play with that, because part of creation is play and passion. And a big part that a lot of people miss out on is they're telling me like that you feel like it has to be perfect, or you feel like you need to learn something very specific so that you can start creating. Maybe you want to create jewelry and you're like, oh, but I need to do this first. Or, you know, maybe you want to create paintings and you're like, oh, but I need to take the course first, or I need to make sure I have all the materials. And they're like, no, just create, just tap into your emotional state wherever you are at the time, right? Some of the best creations come from some of the deepest, darkest emotions. So in those spaces, and even when you're joyful and happy and in these really high vibrational emotions, tap into, okay, they're saying use emotion to tap into creation, and that will help you open up doors. It will open up new opportunities for you. It will bring new joys into your life, but tap into the emotion first, right? So maybe this is a daily thing where, you know, you rise up and you're like, okay, how am I feeling today? Well, maybe today you're feeling a little tired. Okay, what does tired look like? What does tired feel like? What does tired sound like? What is, like, tap into that and use that as a creation, right? Maybe from that space you can write a little bit, or you can draw a little bit, or paint a little bit, or create some music. What would tired sound like if it was musical? Whatever it is for you to tap into. Maybe they're showing me like a needle and thread. So maybe you sew, or you are a knitter and you knit things. And so they're saying, like, tap into these emotions to fill and create from that space, and allow yourself to just play and open up with it. And you're going to be amazed at the things that come through. Okay, we have connect with your ancestors. Connect with your ancestors. Okay, this is part of the heart opening. They're really pointing out this tree right here in the center of the heart space. And they're telling me there's this energy of, how do I say this? What feels like a blockage in your heart and being able to open up in your heart is coming through your ancestry, right? So maybe you're from a lineage where it's really hard to open up and share emotions, right? And so being able to create from emotion is a completely new step. It's something very unique and different to your lineage. And so what you're opening up, what you're working through, is not just opening up your heart. You're opening up basically the heart of the lineage. You are working not just for yourself, but for your entire ancestry. Now, what they're saying is connect with your ancestors, because you don't have to take all of that on yourself. Maybe you've done some ancestry work and you're like, oh, I'm tired. I've done so much ancestry work. I know for self, I've done a ton of ancestry work. And they're saying, call on us. Like, allow us as the ancestors to come through and help. Call on us. Tell us that you're tired. What do you need? Do you need some energy? Do you need us to pull back? Do you need us to... Actually, one thing that I do with my ancestors, when I have family members who are in a super low vibration, whatever it may be, they're going through some shadow work or just going through some things, and they like to trauma dump on me or just dump all their energy on me, and it almost becomes like this vampire energy. I feel like they are taking my energy and it drains me, right? So what I do, instead of having to set boundaries verbally with my family members, I'll call on my ancestors and I'll tell them, can you please make sure that this person cannot get in touch with me until they have raised their vibration? And until then, send them so much love, and please be there to look out for them and watch after them. And I do that every time. And every time I do, I may not hear from people for a while, right? And then by the time I do hear from them, it's like they had some breakthroughs, some things shifted. They're not calling to trauma dump on me anymore. You know, they're calling to check on me and see how I'm doing, or to just talk, right? Like there's not a need to just dump all that energy off somewhere. So call on your ancestors. speaking of ancestors, we have angels and ancestors that came through, and the magic guardian. So unlock the magic within. Okay, they're telling me that this is linked to the ancestors, because when you start asking for help from your ancestors, you're going to tap into also their gifts, the things that they did do that were magnificent or great during their time on Earth. And so they're saying tap into the ancestors to help with the heart opening. Ask them to help with some of the lineage stuff that you're working through. If you need a break, or you just want to, not have to take on all of the energy of the lineage, like myself, ask them for help with that. And because of that, it's going to open you up to this vibration of the magic guardian, unlocking the magic within you. So, right, all of the magic, I feel like no matter how many times I learn this, it all comes back to the heart. It all comes back to the heart, opening up through the heart. So once you're able to stop suppressing that energy and able to fully open up and let your ancestors take on some of that energy, because they're able to help and they want to help, they're here to help, then you can tap into your own individual magic. And that will help with the creation. That will help you start to open up to using these emotions to create and open up new opportunities in your life. Okay. We have the love of animals. Okay, they told me to quiet down for this one. I feel like there's a message that's coming through telepathically, so I'm just gonna be silent for a moment. Okay. So there is this energy coming through with this love of animals that shows how animals affect your heart and your heart opening. So tapping into that, allowing the animals to open up your heart. Maybe that's going to a cat cafe. Maybe it's going to a dog park. Maybe it is just being outside in nature and connecting with the birds. Maybe it's going to a sanctuary or somewhere special that they take care of animals and treat them really well. Whatever it may be, they're saying connect with the animals to help with that heart space. I feel like you need a lot of help around the heart. And it's because, like they said earlier, they're bringing me back to this. It's this energy with the ancestors. Your ancestry. I'm just going to tap into it for just a moment because these messages want to come through. Your ancestry was very workaholic is the word that comes through. It's like you've always got to be working, always got to get things done, almost like your worth depended on how much work you put out, or how often you worked, or how many hours you worked, or how long you worked, or how hard you worked. Everything was around work. And this was for generations. I mean, it goes back a long, long time. And so they're saying now that you're breaking that, you're shifting out of this need to constantly be working and hustling and getting things done. This new vibration, it is pulling at your heartstrings, right? Because it might be that some people in your family are still very much in that hustle, get things done, and you see them aging faster. You see them growing through things, or maybe being stressed out when maybe you feel like if they just pulled back and allowed themselves rest and time to enjoy life, that it would be different. And so that's part of your journey here is those of us that are here to heal ancestry, we're here to do it by example, right? So the more we pull back, the more we rest, the more we start to enjoy our lives and not have to be in the hustle and the go all the time, the more our loved ones, our family members that we're in touch with, that, like we want to see thrive, the more they're going to pull back and start to take care of themselves and start to bring more joy into their lives, and start to realize that maybe the hustle just isn't it anymore, right? I feel like it worked for generations for a very, very long time because of survival. And this, thank you, Spirit, for bringing this through. This is where the abundance and the extravagance comes in, because this is a shift out of survival and into abundance, into flow, complete to flow, allowing things to come to you, and everything just aligns, and it's this super magical space to be in. But you are shifting out of some really dense energy with that scarcity programming that came through the ancestry. Okay, last card here, we have the Herbal deck, and let's see, it is tobacco, the offering. Okay, they asked me to pull the book out for this one, so I'm just gonna read into it briefly. Let's see, number 24. Okay, so it says, I'm just gonna read directly from the book. It says, tobacco is used among indigenous groups across the Americas as an offering to the gods for smoke cleansing, as an offering to the spirits, as a sacred, oh my goodness, why can I not read right now? Okay, let me ground real quick, apologies. Okay, I'm gonna try this again. Tobacco is used among indigenous groups across the Americas as an offering to the gods for smoke cleansing, as an offering to the spirits, as a sacred smoke at council meetings, and as a ceremonial juice during vision quests. Widely used by shamans in the Amazon called tabaqueros, tobacco is considered a planta maestra, or a plant teacher. These plants are key to protective spirits and important allies and guides in the healing of humanity. In pre-Columbian North America, different tribes used tobacco ceremonially. The main difference between them and Central and South American tribes is that they smoked tobacco through a pipe. Various indigenous peoples from the Americas used tobacco for healing a wide range of ailments such as earaches, snake bites, cuts and burns, respiratory diseases, fever, convulsions, nervous issues, urinary complaints, skin diseases, and parasites. Many traditions hold that tobacco is a protective spirit given to humanity to enable communication with the spirit world. Tobacco is one of the ultimate ofrendas, or offerings, to the spirit world. It has been placed on altars and traded among different societies for hundreds of years. It has been used by many indigenous peoples as a symbolic token for sealing peace among tribes. Across time, tobacco has been most commonly used as a smoke, but it can also be used as a strong purgative and an anti-inflammatory, which further mirrors its Mars energetics. The gods of power are here to serve, and they demand loving respect. Tobacco reminds us to utilize power compassionately. How we use and direct this power determines the quality of life. Offer your actions as a divine gift, selflessly and in service to the sacred. Grandfather Tobacco's protective and powerful energy lovingly opens the doorway to the spirit world to those who ask with humility and respect. Don't allow the illusions of power to ignite destructive behaviors or propel you toward addictive habits. Okay. So all of that, I feel like that was like so much. I'm not sure why they wanted me to, they said it's not important, why they wanted me to read it. Normally they don't do that, but that I think was my guides, thank you, because they know I'm gonna keep asking until they tell me. Or it's saying it's because it's a grounding. There's a lot of high vibrational energy that came through with these cards. There's some activations that are happening just by being on your screen, and so it was a grounding. And they're saying, you know, with an offering, the reason we do offerings, right, is to show gratitude for the journey. So connect with your ancestors, show gratitude to them. Yes, they've lived through scarcity. They've passed these programs and beliefs around scarcity or around life and money and things down to you through the lineage. And they did it not to harm you. They did it to protect you. They did it to keep you safe, right? For them, it was a safety mechanism. It was a way to blend at a time where there needed to be, it was not okay to be in your authenticity, right? It was a little scary for our ancestors to have to, you know, stand up and be in their authenticity, because those that did, and we know this like throughout history, those that did stand up and be in their authenticity, they were chastised or they were shunned, right? So there's this energy of grounding yourself through this process, creating an offering for the ancestors, and allowing yourself to connect through that space. Now, maybe you're somebody who works with tobacco, or you've been considering using tobacco with a shaman in a practice, and this is your sign that this is something for you to do, to tap into deeper, since it has come up. And maybe it's just for you to allow that offering to ground you and open up your heart so that you can take in all that this earth has to offer to you. Okay. I believe that is all. I know this was a long one, so thank you to those of you who stuck around to the end, especially through that reading. Alrighty, until next time, I'm sending you all so much joy, and we'll see you soon. Take care. Adios.